Wow, I have a lot. I guess Prince is probably my favorite artist. I really admire and respect his musical style. You know, he's always evolving, making different statements with his music and through the music. And I've been a fan since, you know, I was a teenager, 12, 13, I guess, 13, 14, technically a teenager, right? But I was 14 in 1984 when Purple Rain came out, so go figure. Who else? Miles. Most of the jazz heads we would think of, so you know, Miles, Coltrane, Lester Young. Big fan of Lester Young. Mingus. I don't even want to start touching drummers. You know, that's too many people. Monk. Did I say Monk? Definitely influenced by Monk heavily. Sting. I'm a big fan of Sting. I always like the Police. Andre Crouch. I grew up listening to a lot of gospel music. Andre Crouch, James Cleveland. The Grateful Dead, Bill Withers, Allman Brothers. I forgot about all my rock stars that I like, you know. Bill Withers for sure. Bill Withers is definitely one of my favorite musical artists. He's my traveling music. Whenever I get in my car, it's Bill Withers I roll with. Yeah. My musical style. Wow, that's probably the hardest question you have for me so far, at least all day. Well, it's difficult. You know, as a composer, I write what I feel and what I'm inspired, you know, and what comes to me. I believe that, you know, all my compositions really have come from a higher place, higher power, Jah, God, the Creator. And so I'm only that vehicle, you know, through which it comes through. So, you know, if I'm in tune and I can hear the melody and I can, you know, retain it and get to an instrument to play it, and or my drums to lay down a rhythm for it, then that's really what it is. You know, so it's celestial music, right? Because it comes from above. But if I have to place it in a genre, oh man, that's what I hate. I guess I lump into jazz. The music's full of improvisation, but I range. You know, I write some jazz, I write some soul, I write a little bit of country, a little R&B, some gospel, some blues, a little reggae. You know, I've got a lot of traditional, you know, ambient music, I guess you can call it, because it's just, you know, full of rhythm. You know, some drum stuff, but I have got a range, so it's hard to just say my music is jazz, you know what I mean? But jazz, to me, again, it comes to definitions, is just, you know, a term for the feeling that's expressed through the music. You know, you break jazz down to swing and other categories, you know, so, you know, I guess I am right to say my music is jazz. Yeah, there you go, jazz. musician? Okay, well, first of all, you're born a drummer, I believe, because it's a gift from God. It's something that sets you apart from the rest of the mortals on this planet. Your ability to manipulate rhythm. And so with that gift and with that power comes a lot of great responsibility, to borrow a line from Spider-Man. But, that I've been playing drums since I was as long as I can remember. My mom always tells stories about me playing when I was 1, crawling around the kitchen floor, finding her best pots and pans. And, those stories, I truly believe, hey, my mom's not gonna lie, right? But it's a natural impulse, I'm always hitting stuff, I remember making most of my toys drums eventually. Even though I had drums, I still would use those because they made sound. So it's a pursuit of sound. It's like Lexus, a relentless pursuit of sound. And I guess shortly after my college experience, I decided to give music the shot because, I had gone to college for 4 years and, I was a history major and I was studying African history, European, Western Civ, East Asian, and Latin studies, right? And it was great. I love learning history, but I saw all I could really do was probably end up being a teacher. And that's not to slight being a teacher. Please don't get it wrong. But I didn't want to be a teacher right then, and I didn't want to be a lawyer. I was torn what I really wanted to be. And I was like, but who am I? What do I like to do? And I was play drums. So I moved to California, moved to the Bay Area, and eventually, I stayed there for a couple of years. And then I eventually hooked up with Leon Mobley and moved to LA. And really, that's when the adventure kind of kicked in. And I was destined to be on my musical journey because at that point, I was considered a professional musician. I was getting paid for playing drums. I had a proper gig. So that means I'm professional. So I guess at 22, 23 is when I decided that I was going to walk that walk. And 20 some odd years later, I'm still walking that walk. Wouldn't change a thing.
Leon Lewis Mobley.